Good day to you all and welcome to the video. I have not been uploading for a very long time, longer than I would have wanted, and you can blame college or you can blame my terrible time management skills. But I'm back and I'm excited for my plans for the channel. Now, this will be a brief video on something I feel is important to talk about in the time of post-final exams. As a college student, there are many things that can cause stress and worry. There is expectation, competition, and adapting away of the dependent lifestyle enjoyed for the past 18 to 20 years. The world is difficult, uncertain, and scary sometimes. I've been feeling mixed emotions while in college, but I want to share a couple things that has allowed me to overcome some of that uncertainty. And I am not giving mental health advice, only sharing my thoughts on things that have helped me. If you feel you need help, seek it. There is no shame. In fact, there is an internet organization called Healthy Gamer that can provide mental health help for our modern internet generation, and I have a link in the description if you're interested. I'm not sponsored by Healthy Gamer, I just believe in their cause and I want to give them a shout out, however insignificant of a shout that may be. Now, I think a big factor to the stress of being a college student, and it's not the only one, is the expectation of reaching quote-unquote the dream. In my personal experience, I have set many labels of what my dream career is and having that as my bar. For example, I started wanting to be a historian, then an architect, then an engineer, then a physicist, and so on, in the time I spent in high school and college. I defined my future by a label, and that label became my judge. As I created this label of what the dream is, I recently noticed a cycle upon reflection. That is, I begin with creating a label based upon a fantasy of stability. What I mean is the thought that if I become, for example, an architect, I will be happy, I will be stable, and life will be easy. I will be reliable in the community and make an impact. As I created this label, my focus was now being concentrated on that label, an architect, the future as I made it out to be, not what it is in reality. So I would judge my abilities and skills at the moment with what I thought an ideal architect was, and the obvious occurred. I was not exhibiting the special talents I imposed myself as the qualifiers for determining my success. So I would overanalyze the supposed qualifiers and spend less time acting or getting things done. I would dismantle the label and move to another one that tickled my interest, and the cycle repeated. This left me feeling incapable and not smart enough to pursue a career. So what I came to realize was that in actuality, I do not have ownership of the results I want. I may want to be an architect, for example, and not be one in the future. So many things happen in between those large timescales that it is futile trying to control it. Even trying to predict exactly what is going to happen tomorrow is a daunting task. I first came to realize this when reading the book The Tao Te Ching, an ancient philosophic Chinese text which describes the way to live, and is where Taoism is based. I am not a Taoist, but I appreciate philosophic literature when it touches interesting aspects of life. In the text, an interesting approach to life is presented. That is, letting go of control gives you control. To quote the Tao Te Ching in verse 22, surrender brings perfection. Without promoting himself, he is distinguished. Without claiming reward, he gains endless merit. According to the verse, the sage surrenders control to the Tao being life itself, the chaos of random events. When one seizes control of the desired outcome, the judge ceases to have a tyrannical rule over the self. This is not to say that one should be lazy or not have goals. The point is to focus on what can be controlled and let life do the rest. I can't control whether I pass my exams and graduate college. Trying to control every variable to get there is like trying to control an ocean. The task becomes unbearable and a distraction of the only thing that exists, the now. This concept has freed a lot of worry in my path in college because I realized the now is the only thing that exists. And it's better to focus on the small tasks today each day as it comes, which will naturally lead to a certain outcome. The book also says in verse 64, begin your task before it becomes a burden. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Taking my goals and breaking it into chunks makes the journey simple enough to not notice its final outcome. Yet I'm open to divergence as it comes, because the point is to surrender control of the uncontrollable. Personally, this is how I'm trying to approach the YouTube channel, because for a time I was obsessed with how the video would be received, whether it would be liked or disliked, whether it would go viral or not go viral, how successful will a video become. These variables are simply uncontrollable, not up to me to decide. So what I found that's best for me is to just act and have the consequences come as they may, and then determine what is the best course from there. But the point is to not control the things that are not meant to be controlled. And I'm still integrating this thought process and have gained great benefit from it. And I hope this has been useful to you. It may or may not be useful, but I felt it worthwhile to mention. My workload has massively decreased with the advent of vacation, so I'll be uploading more frequently. And if you're interested in the content that I talk about, like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. And as always, have an amazing rest of your week.